Sup. The opinions and views expressed in this podcast are that of our own and Future Bachelor only, and not affiliated with any outside party or entity. This fun podcast may include some adult language.
Future Bachelor Podcast.
Oh, welcome to Future Bachelor. My name is Sai.
I'm Veronica, and did you just cough
And
that
let
intro
me clear
out?
my throat. No, for real. I got too hype on that. My throat got dry. But welcome to episode 123.
Hey.
Wow, this is going to be a very cool episode. Had to start it off with that jam, but later on in the show, we got a great interview from a super special guest that we have on the show this week, Eric Biggett from Bachelor fame. I'm going to actually give him an air horn right now just because that's cool. You know, he was on Rachel Lindsay's season. Now he just came out with a new book and masterclass that we're going to talk to him about. So later on in the show, we'll get into that. But Veronica, what's up? Welcome to 123. How you doing?
I don't know if I'm more excited. I'm not more excited for 123 than I was for 69, but it's close.
Yeah, actually, those are pretty two cool, significant numbers in our potting. So
They are.
Cheers to
Fuck
us.
100.
Yeah. We're going to have cheers to us. But how are you doing?
This is a more kid-friendly number than 69 was. So.
Exactly. But you were saying you were having a long week. Is everything all right?
Work is just, the company is kicking my ass currently. And
you're working from home. What do you got to complain about?
I don't like working from home.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And I'm literally on every day this week. I'm on calls or in video calls from like literally 9:30 to 5 p.m. So like that's why it took me a second to hop on like when we were getting ready for this is because I literally got off a call at 5:10. So it's just been a long week, but you
okay? You okay?
I mean, I'll be okay. And also like it's kind of funny. Like it's not funny, but it's like always the worst day. Might be, you know what? I don't care. I don't care if it's TMI, but the worst day of my period always lands on a recording day for this podcast. So like my insides are tearing.
There's something
my
about hump day. Like everything lands on Wednesday. Like I'll be like, are you serious? That has to be Wednesday? Yes, Wednesday. So I'm like back to back, just waking up with like coffee, just like, cracked out, just trying. I'm not actually on crack, but you know what I'm saying. And just trying to get everything,
wink,
everything done on a Wednesday. I'm like, this is ridiculous. But also, there's work that goes into doing this show, like the show prep that you've been doing to even create this awesome episode. There's a lot of work that goes into it, so thank you. What else? What else is
thanks
going
for
on?
being along for the ride as well.
Yeah, I'm here, dude. What else is going on with you?
So I had what I've been calling Prosecco Day this past weekend because my friend Ross, who you've met at my birthday and stuff, he was back in town. He's from Atlanta. He was back in town. We hung out like the week prior, and we were going to try to all hang out again. Me, him, my friends Aaron McKenzie, and his best friend Austin, who we're friends with, and like just hang out like at Aaron McKenzie has a patio in their backyard and just like chill there, bring some Prosecco, have like a brunch situation. And then he kind of like flaked on us because he had family stuff. So instead, we just balled out. We all brought Prosecco. We just balled out on some Aperol spritzes and mimosas and listened to some old music videos. And we had a ball and got some Shake Shack. So we had a good time.
That's awesome. I've been doing a lot more like self-isolating again this week. Just, been here in my dope-ass little apartment.
You've been making music, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, music has been like definitely something I like. I busting out the whiteboard and like making things to do all day, and music is like one of them. It's cool because, it's weird thing about me making music that like it's what I love to do most, but I procrastinate it and I build it up in my head because it's hard. It's hard to make music. So sometimes you'll sit down and make something whack and you're just like, do I even have it anymore? But like legit after like 15 years of making music, like every time, not every time, but like eventually.
You still got it, baby.
Yeah, I still got it. Like, so, and now it's just like the more you do it, like the more things are like, becoming easier and better. So
it's a muscle, you know, you got to work it out.
Right. So I've been making some music that I'm pretty proud of, working out, like doing a little routine around here because I got that treadmill and I've been actually using
that treadmill really kind of like is your saving grace.
Hell
I feel
yeah,
like.
dude. I'll wake up and just bust out like a little half mile or a mile just to get me going. But
that's your crack, you know?
Yeah. Well, I will tell you what I did do. Under the advice of some like of my sister, she was like, "You should sign up for like a dating app or something."
Hey!
Like that. What is the? Nah, we don't got to do the whole crowd noise.
You've been like hating on me, which maybe you should because
I'm not, like,
my
hating.
luck.
I never really hated on it.
I feel like next week we might get into my luck with dating apps because
okay,
like
finally, damn.
It's on the thing. We just didn't get to. It would have been today, but we had bigger and better guests.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, you're right. We'll save that for next week. But yeah, no. I mean, I just think like the reason why I don't do dating apps is because I'm usually I'll go out like and meet people, but that's not like a thing anymore. Like this is like the new normal. Like I hate to admit it, but like I'm not like out here like. I can't meet people. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't lucky enough to like go into COVID with like, a significant other. So yeah, I mean, it's just, I think a cool way, to, I guess, meet people, but it's weird. Like, I don't know how to like really interact with it yet. And it's the weirdest thing. Like,
maybe I should teach you.
I mean, I'm on like Hinge. Is that what people are on?
I like Hinge. I like Hinge the best, I think.
I will admit, I like put money into it for a month.
Ooh, okay.
Well, just because like I don't know how else you're supposed to use it. Like it's like you can't see shit. Like if you don't.
Yeah, I get what you're saying because then you could like fully look at like who's already liked you instead of like having to go through them like one by one. You can like fold out the deck and be like, oh, and stuff like that. But
also like it's interesting. I don't know why I do it. Maybe it's like the analytical part of me, but like I'll like be like, oh wow, all these girls are liking this one picture like specifically. So it's like maybe this is like the picture that people are like liking the most. Like you just like think about things like that. Like
oh yeah, I want to definitely. You'll have to send me pics of like what your profile says and like what the pics
honestly
shows.
That's what I wanted to do. It was like I should show this to like 2 or 3 girls that I trust, like just to get like their feedback because I was like like think about it though, because from a guy's perspective, as I'm swiping, I'm seeing things that I wish I could just tell these girls like, dude, you're instantly getting an X just because all your pictures are like from like your face here and here. We know what you're trying to do and I get it, but like it's like, what if someone like actually just likes you for like you? Like we know why you're doing this, but like there's only so much we can get from you from just seeing your face. And then instantly for me, if I see you have a filter on your picture, like I'm like
a shitty like a dog filter, like
any of those
filtered.
filters make your eyes like more cat eye or whatever, like turns you blue or whatever's going on. Like, I don't mind like, a nicely edited picture, like, like whatever, but like, don't make it fucking be like some crazy filter. But, so I do wonder what it's like, for me, it's like when a girl just has sunglasses on. That was one thing I learned from seeing other, like a profile with this girl had only sunglasses on. I'm like, dude, this girl doesn't even show me her eyes. And then I went to like my pictures. I was like, wait a second.
And then you looked at your entire Instagram.
Well, my Instagram, I don't give a fuck about. But like,
I know, I'm giving you shit.
But like, as far as dating goes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, oh shit, like maybe they want to see my eyes. Like,
yeah, so, it's definitely a turnoff. Like, I have maybe one picture with me with sunglasses because like I look hot in it. But like, besides that, no, you don't want all sunglasses pics.
I don't know. We'll try this out for a little
or all
while,
hat pics. Girls don't like if guys have a lot of hat pics.
Give me more. Like, what do you got?
You gotta like have like good like also like the prompts. Like I think most women like most women like Hinge for the prompts because
they're so simple but like an easy
we
icebreaker.
Like personality because like if you make us like laugh in that moment or if you like make us think about something then we're gonna be like I want to respond or like whatever and like stop doing. I think I want to say this to all men. You are not different for saying when you answer the prompt, I'm most competitive about everything. I'm so competitive. No, all dudes literally say that. What am I not competitive about? That's not a personality trait. Take it off your fucking profile. Pick a different question. Thank you.
Whoa, dude, you're blowing my mind right now. Like, all right, so like, what about other things? What other things?
Or like also The Office. Watching The Office isn't a personality.
Yeah.
Every man will reference that, or women too. Also, like I know women always fall into the thing like, I love tacos and tequila. I do. I really truly do love tacos and tequila, but that's like what every basic bitch says.
Yeah.
So like, I think one of my friends, I have friends that really like what they do. One of the prompts is like, I know the best place for, and like one of them said pizza or said whatever. And so like that gets a lot of like reactions out of people because like people really want to be like, oh yeah, well my like the best place in the city I think for sushi or whatever is this place. Is that what you think?
Okay, let me ask this. So what if you like you're trying to like somebody on Hinge or whatever like that, but do you have to always say something, or can you just like it without saying something? How does that look? How does that look for a girl?
Okay, so
does a girl want to have to like?
I'm about to pull up my own Hinge. So I feel like I get a lot of like people who just like a photo. There's one of my photos that gets a ton of likes because I'm like in this cute little romper thing. You could see my full body. And but so they will just like it. Or I have one in my costume where I was the LaCroix can. And sometimes people will like say stuff like they'll either be like, wow, you're so pretty, which I'm like, okay, thanks, and then I'll say thanks or whatever back.
Yeah, that's one thing I've realized like about like life and like the dating app. It's like, okay, you got like everyone probably thinks you're pretty. Like
it's probably it's better. I feel
how
like
has it taken me this long to realize this?
I think like when it comes to dating apps, like women especially, except if they're on Bumble, they know they have to be the ones that initiate the conversation. Like it's always better to like, if you like a photo, probably be ready if she's going to accept your like, she might like prompt you to start the conversation.
There's so many people that you don't like though. That's the crazy part.
I know. Well,
that's so crazy.
That's
like
crazy
that's like one thing I realized too. Is there's like, wow, there's a lot of people out here that like in this world that are definitely not for me.
That's funny because I feel like I think there's so many apps where dudes are on that they just like swipe right and then they'll be like, I'll see who I get back and then I'll filter through that, which I'm like, that's crazy.
Right.
Women would never work that way. Like,
well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm going a little crazy or whatever, because I haven't taken any flights out of this state. But I'm hoping maybe we could take a quick flight to there. I don't know. Quick hits? Yeah! What do we got for some quick hits, V?
Yeah, so I guess I'm starting it off sad. We had a couple of legacies die this past week. So Regis Philbin, he died at 88, which I fully did not realize how old he was. He's a legacy in the daytime television talk host.
My favorite number.
Huh?
88
is your really?
It's the miles per hour you have to go to the future.
To get oh my
Bachelor.
God, I knew that.
But yeah, also another tie-in with Regis is like, did you have a senior quote?
No, but you've talked about, isn't yours like something?
Mine is a Kanye line where like legit, I was gonna pull it out, but then I was like, I'm not sharing this. But it was underneath my picture, my senior quote was, the way Kathy Lee needed Regis, that's the way I need Jesus. And,
yes, that's
right. Regis and Kathy Lee back in the day, my mom used to watch the shit out of that show. But yeah, that's how I knew Regis Philbin. And then he went on to do like Want to Be a Millionaire or whatever. Mm-hmm. Do you want to be a millionaire? What is it called?
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Who wants to be a millionaire?
Yeah, I watch that shit a lot because I'd be like, I can answer these questions.
Yeah,
I'm like, maybe I
actually isn't Chris Harrison like the host of that, or Jimmy Kimmel, or there was a bunch of people. I think
it might be. I think Chris Harrison was doing it. I think they kind of like were rotating through different hosts.
Huh. Well, anywho.
And then Gone with the Wind star Olivia de Havilland. I totally butchered that, but she died and she was 104.
Havilland.
That's wild to me.
Yeah, that's crazy. 104. Well, what else we got for some quick hits?
So
Rest
when
in
you
peace
guys
to
are
those guys, though.
Huh?
Rest in peace to those guys.
I know. So when you guys are hopefully listening to this on Thursday, that day, that night, that evening will be verses of Rick Ross and 2 Chainz.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose my mind.
What do you think? Do you think this is a good matchup?
I think it's a pretty good matchup. I think, man, I mean, I'm a 2 Chainz like.
No, 2
2
Chainz
Chainz
is
is
good, but the people are saying that Rick Ross is
I
going to
think Rick Ross is gonna Rick roll him. So
Yeah, so we'll have to see. But these are, I mean, I don't think they were like more of like versus battles now. Like they're just more celebration of their music. So they'll probably be in
Yeah.
the same room just performing, and it'll be a dope ass night for good music. So, but when you put their songs like 20 to 20, that's the fun part to kind of think about. Rick Ross kind of like has a bunch of songs. So, cool that they're getting another. That's a big time versus Rick Ross 2 Chainz. So they're keeping it going. What else we got?
So, I'm sure you've seen it. I've seen it. You've seen a lot of women posting black and white photos of themselves on Instagram saying hashtag challenge accepted or like hashtag women empowering women. And it's stirred up, I don't know if controversy is the right word, but it's stirred up thoughts and things.
I've been seeing a whole bunch of things.
So some of it, so people were like, okay, why? So I was asked by people before I even knew like the true origins of it. Like, what the heck is this? And it, here in the US, it's been predominantly passed around where like women will get nominated by someone like in their DMs or whatever. And will be like, like you're a strong woman, blah, blah, blah. Like, let's post a picture of ourselves to show that like we're strong women. And like, we don't need anybody or like we like can empower ourselves. Blah.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. And then, which in that essence, it feels like a little weird to be like, I need to wait for someone's permission to post a photo of myself to like feel good about myself. Like, that's not my vibe. But, so that was my first of all, that was like, I was kind of like, eh. And then people were saying that it was related to potentially like back in 2016, challenge accepted was something around, raising awareness for cancer, like this whole black and white photo challenge. So then that was like a whole, people are like, okay, so why are people using this now? Is this like for breast cancer? Is this for whatever? And then there was, there was the challenge that has now been here in the US. Originally, this whole black and white photo thing was related to something that women in Turkey were doing to promote awareness of mass femicide that happens in Turkey, about how many, many women there will go missing and end up dead. And so in their newspapers, there'll be black and white photos of, the missing persons or like the deceased and things like that. So it was like that was, the design around like, okay, it's a black and white photo. And that was like them, raising awareness, like we are going to try to do different things or support different causes.
And then, you got any more?
No, I mean,
I had a couple. There was like one where it's like, like they're easily just like getting every woman's
farming
picture
photos. Yeah.
in America and the world just through a hashtag.
Yeah. So like, which they could be doing.
They definitely they are doing. What are you talking about?
No, but I'm saying like it could have been like after they saw these challenges pop off, then people are like, okay, we're going to farm these now and whatever. So it's like, I have been nominated. I've been nominated by so many people. People think I'm so strong.
That reminds me of when people are like, I've been getting so many comments. I've been getting
so many questions about my skincare routine. Here's my serum. But
oh man.
But no, but I, and I like the sentiment about it. But I've actually seen a lot of. Some of my friends have been posting, they've been posting the reasons behind like what it is. I've posted the reasons behind. And then also I've seen people posting like black and white pictures of Breonna Taylor and some of the other like black femmes, trans women, black women who have been lost this year due to, police violence or just violence in general. And I think that's also an empowering take on this to be like, okay, like we're empowering each other, blah, blah, blah. But what does this mean? Like,
right.
what is reposting
another
mean?
thing I saw, like, it's like, it was like someone posting about Breonna Taylor, like, you know, the black and white Breonna Taylor. Like, imagine if everyone posted Breonna Taylor's picture. Like, what a message that would be.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they essentially did, but like, it's like now it's like a month later. It's like, let's do it again. Like,
it's like 100-some days later. So.
Well, yeah, okay, but I'm just saying, like a month later, since people have like stopped talking about it. Like, I feel like.
Exactly. So it definitely. I just think, you know, when it comes to these like social media challenges, like, I just feel like I want, you know, we talked about the whole Blackout Tuesday thing. People just need to do their homework, and also like, what does posting on social media do? Are you going to use it to promote something that you're like actually donating to, or that you're supporting, or that you're working, like actionable things? Like, that's like, you know, that's what you're doing.
I think a big part of it too is like people feel like the pressure to do it. Like, when you're getting nominated by like 4 or 5 different people are like, what the hell is wrong with Veronica? Like, I've nominated her. Like, all she has to do is like post a black and white pretty picture of herself. Like, it's like, I don't want to. Like, you know, like,
exactly.
I'm not gonna.
Well, and then people get offended because they're like, well, I think like I'm empowering you. I think you're an empowered person.
See, I don't
like,
think one way or another. It's just like, do it or don't do it. Just like, you know what you're doing it, what your reason is. Like, your reason is never going to be the same reason as another person's or whatever. But, you know, regardless, I do think the scary part is, like, I mean, there's so many different ways they would do it, but like the farming of people's photos is like a scary ass thing to think about. Like, that if you really are thinking about like, there's like a dark world where like people are being like put into like sex slaves and all that different stuff, which there is, that this is like a scary thing. Like, you know, like they just have pictures of people. Like, imagine if like this is conspiracy theory stuff, but like if there was like a way like to sell people before, like, you know, like, and they're like, I want to buy her. It's like, all right, well, these are the people you can choose from. They're all in black and white, like pictures, like.
I mean, in like the lowest level, even it's just like people use like, you know, can pull stuff to use for like catfishing or identity theft or anything like that. Like, I've had people use my photos before for a Tinder profile.
Yeah, there's stories of like, you know, people being like missing on the other side of the world or something like that, and they're like, no, I'm like right here. Like, I don't know why they're using this picture in the news and stuff like that. So you just have to be careful about that stuff. What else do we got going on? In
my fave couple are now newly parents. Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas welcomed their baby girl Willa this past week.
That sounds like a very Game of Thrones name.
That's they said that was like some of the inspiration behind it. So nice. You know, so congrats to them.
Cool.
Taylor Swift dropped a kind of pseudo secret, like she pretty much didn't tell anybody about it until like the day prior, album called Folklore this past week. And it is very much so like plays into what a lot of like Gen Z and stuff is calling cottagecore, which is just kind of like, it's very like women loving women kind of aesthetic of like warm cuddly sweaters and like holding tea and like being in a cottage and just like that whole like vibe, which people think this album, there's a lot of like, it's supposed to be about ghost stories, so about exes, but there's a heavy line of references to loving a girl, and people think it's about Karlie Kloss because Taylor Swift had a very good friendship with Karlie Kloss model, who is now, I think she is fully married into like the Kushner family. So pretty much the internet's going insane because we're like, is this Taylor coming out? Did she have a thing with Karlie? Let us know.
Yeah, I mean, if I read something about it, it was like, there were perspective of like different like fairy tales like, or something like that.
Yeah, there was like a
love stories.
Yeah, like there's like a 3-song, like there's a trio of songs that reference like.
Her new video was like based upon like what, like Peter Pan or something.
Stuff like that, and definitely has a lot of like fairy tale. I mean, it's called Folklore. Has a lot of like fairy tale influences. Has a lot of like influences about like past relationships. So like there's some references to like Harry Styles. There's references to other people.
I gotta give the album a listen. The ones I checked out were alright, but they weren't. Replay.
They all kind of play along the same vein, August is my favorite song off of it. Honestly, this is the direction I would have rather, like, this is the direction I like Taylor Swift going in.
Listen to one that had Bon Iver.
What is that one called? Like, shit.
Whatever.
I'm like,
but that was the one I heard.
that's a great, I liked that one, but it's definitely like it's not an upbeat album, really.
Well, I can get down with like a dope little album. It just, if it's good, it's good. If she just made it in a cottage and we're supposed to like eat it up, then no. Well, just a little update with Meg Thee Stallion. She's been on like IG Live. People have been reacting. There's still like a lot of like uncertainty of what has happened to her and stuff, which is making it even more people wanting to speculate what's going on.
Yeah.
There's just, I mean, it's an open case, but it's so high profile with like, you know, Kylie Jenner being involved and stuff like that. I can't help but think that there's something like, you know, some type of weird like thing happening behind closed curtains. So
yeah, she got shot. So on her Instagram Live, she talked about getting shot in both of her feet and she had to get surgery.
She said she got shot in both her feet and broke no bones. Like, you know how many bones are in your foot? Like, how do you get shot?
So many,
in both?
a bajillion bones.
No, like I think like 25% of the bones in your body
are in your feet. Damn,
feet.
Psy. Okay. Bill Nye,
I listen to podcasts.
Bill Nye the Psy in Sky over here.
You know, with your hands included, that's like 56% of the bones in your body. But let's not get there. But to shoot both your feet and miss all the bones is like, bitch, you need to go to Vegas and play some slots or something. Because,
yeah, what the hell?
But so yeah, I mean, that's just, you know, Rihanna sent her a care package, which is huge because, you know, Rihanna has dealt with her own domestic violence and, you know, relationships or whatever.
And Meg is one of like the Fenty Savage ambassadors, and so was Drea Michelle, who, you know, is like a model, things like that, you know, influencer. But she was making fun of Megan Thee Stallion being shot, like, which was a larger conversation on the internet, was like, why is everyone making a joke out of like a black woman being harmed and like being shot and whatever? But Drea Michelle made jokes about it, and so Rihanna said, nah, bish, you dropped, like, you're no longer an ambassador.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's like confirmed true. Allegedly, people are assuming that. I mean, at the end of the day, like, she was just making a joke, and poor taste for sure. Like, it's definitely not something you want to be like, you know, it was shocking, but yeah, I mean, we don't know what happened with there, so only time will tell. Yo, what made you go yikes this week, Veronica? Something that made you go yikes. I mean, if any of that stuff didn't already
Well, in general, the chain smokers make me go yikes. Yeah. Just who they are.
Their name.
Just the name.
Promoting smoking. You know, it's been like 2 years of no smoking cigs for me.
Wow, yeah, I'm so proud of you. You are the anti-chain smokers.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But
anti-chain smokers.
You are the anti-chain smokers.
Oh, man.
But they, you know, they're just, I don't know, like, they just embody skeeziness for me. Like, they've always given off like gross vibes, and honestly, they continued that because they had a huge concert in the Hamptons that was supposed to be like a social distance drive-up concert where people are paying like $1K to $25K for tickets, which I would first of all never pay that much money to see the Chainsmokers. And
I mean,
like,
you know, it was probably a dope-ass night.
I know. Well, and so DJ Soul, aka the Goldman,
one way, but it's probably crazy.
Yeah, and DJ Soul, aka the Goldman Sachs CEO, David M. Solomon, he also opened for them with like a DJ set.
Wow. But
it was definitely like, it's a packed crowd, no masks really are seen. Like, people are like, yo, what's going on? So Governor Cuomo for New York, because, you know, the Hamptons are in New York, he is investigating it because, like, he's like, how is this allowed to be put on? A lot of places, like, you're not even allowed to, like, have, like, that many, like, a capacity of, like, many people or anything like that. So,
I mean, I think it's those instances where, like, they probably could get away with it until they're just like, you can't do that. And it's like, all right, well, sorry.
Yeah, and it was sponsored or whatever by the Fuck Jerry's his tequila Yaya or Haha or however you pronounce it, Cha Ja. But yeah, so that was my big yikes because I just feel like sometimes I see stuff on the internet with like what some people are doing versus like what other people are doing, like me and you, and I'm like, what are am I being gaslit by the rest of the, like, what is happening? Am I living? Is this not
I know.
real?
I
Like,
figured out. I'm just gonna hibernate and come out in a year and see what the atmosphere is like then. You know.
yeah.
Well, why don't we get into our very special guest this week from Bachelor Nation, fitness entrepreneur and co-author of his new mindset workbook and masterclass, Change Your Mindset, Change Your Energy, Change Your Life, the Bachelor alum. It's miracle season, baby. Eric Bigger, welcome to the show. Let's give him a round of applause, actually, and an air horn.
Damn.
Yeah.
I kind of like that intro coming out of the tunnel, baby. It's miracle season.
Full production, man.
Bachelor podcast. It's going down. Transformation. Change your mindset. Change your energy. Change your life.
Yes.
How are you?
Yeah, dude. I this is kind of what I do. I like to make our guests feel special, you know, and all that. So I'm glad you're feeling the love. How are you doing, man?
I'm phenomenal, man. I'm blessed. I'm thankful. I'm full of gratitude, and I'm happy to be here on the podcast.
Hell yeah. I know it's been like crazy times right now with COVID. How is you know, all that been kind of affecting you know, your life and, you know, your point of view?
Well, you know, I've been working on work as always.
Yeah.
Self prior to all of the COVID and pandemic and, you know, a lot of resistance that's going on in the world. Honestly, the only thing that's changed is I'm not training my clients anymore like I used to, and life is not normal as what is normal, right?
Right.
So things are not open in LA. We're on lockdown, shutdown. So I do go grocery shopping. I do work out outside. The gyms are closed. But I've been doing what I've been doing for a while, you know, other than training my clients, is working on me. The hardest work we'll ever do in life is on ourselves. So I'm always reading, learning, meditating, praying, affirmations. I think what's changed is, you know, the things around me, of course, the economy and the state of people's being. Some people I know have passed away because of COVID. Friends of friends. And just trying to be a force and source of light for people and inspiration and motivation, and help people with their mindset, help people with their, you know, vulnerability and their negative emotions, and help people understand, like, you know, you get to choose what you feel and think. You don't have to feel down and out because of the current environment around you. You can change that by shifting your paradigm and how you look at things. Wayne Dyer says, if we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. So just trying to be positivity for people and give them a sense of light and enjoyment and enthusiasm, because it's easy to be negative in a negative situation, but I like to find a positive in all things. So my life has been pretty consistent other than, you know, those little things I discussed, but I'm fine. I'm happy and thankful, but I just want to help people evolve and heal and be the best version of myself.
Yeah, I think that's super cool, man. And honestly, I think we're all going through it. So like having a guest like you on the podcast is like something I could, you know, use like right now. I need a lot of positivity, you know? But you know, it's kind of funny because I feel like, you know, a lot of times you coming from like Bachelor Nation, you know, a lot of people want to talk about, you know, all these rumors and love and all that stuff. But, you know, today, like we thought it was a good idea to like, you know, talk about what you got going on. And, you know, so I kind of wanted to talk about, you know, what your masterclass and your new book is. You're doing it with another alum from Bachelor, not from your season, but from Becca's season, Chris Randone. You know,
Goose.
yeah, give him a shout out, actually, aka Goose. You know, how'd you guys link up, and you know, how'd you and you know, what's your guys' relationship, and how, and you know, talk about, you know, you guys are delving into topics like anxiety, depression, mental wellness, self-doubt, financial issues, relationship problems. I can hear that. You know, so bad habits and all that stuff. So like, what do you guys, you know, tell us the story. Where'd you start?
Yeah, so, you know, Chris Randone, you know, I don't call him Goose anymore. I call him CR.
I was gonna ask, like,
know?
does he like to be called Goose? Like,
yeah,
is
I
that
was about to say.
Yeah, as much as people think he does, he really doesn't.
It's good to know. Noted. Write that down, Veronica.
I got it.
Mental note, universal note.
Yeah.
But Chris is, he's in Orlando at this time.
That's where I moved from before. Actually, we're both here in Atlanta now, but
not far.
know where it's like being from Florida.
He's transitioning to LA as soon as he can, and once this pandemic or things kind of get where it needs to be for his benefit. But I met Chris 2 summers ago, Bachelor in Paradise, baby.
Yeah.
Where it was really a challenge for me because there's some things that happened on that season that it happened, but it didn't happen, but it happened. And
we remember.
Yeah.
it was great. It was great because I think for me, like, not to go too far off the subject.
Yeah.
Being a fan favorite and everyone loves you, like, oh yeah, boom, and then you become this villain. You like, whoa, everybody hates you. You the scum of the earth, and it's like, I don't know. But for me, I appreciated those moments because I got a new perspective. I got the perspective of what the bad guy or considered the bad guy goes through, and not that it was like I was completely the villain, but that's the energy I felt around that time in the stratosphere.
I understand for sure.
Like, if John and Becky go and have a discussion, and the audience doesn't see that discussion, you only see John, this and Becky, you're just gonna think, well, he's who he is, right? Mm-hmm. So you don't have enough information to make his actions or decisions make sense. But at the end of the day, it's TV, it's television. It's the Bachelor, it's Bachelor in Paradise. So I learned a lot.
And you're also not like you're used to it. Like, you're one of like the rare people that have been on The Bachelorette. You did Bachelor Winter Games, which is a one-off. So you've kind of been through like a bunch of different scenarios.
Yeah,
like
I've done it all. So emotionally, mentally, it's like I'm there. Yeah. I've been there. I know what it's like.
Yep.
But I've learned so much about the world we live in, especially the United States, the divide we currently have, and why it's out there. But yeah, Chris and I met on that season. We talked about self-help and self-development. And this guy's like, bro, I can help you out. I'm very, I'm in that profession. I know a lot of things that can help you in your business. Let's talk post-show. I help you out. So fast forward, he gets in a relationship, he gets married. We never really get that time together. And this past year, around, I think, him and Crystal separated, and then he decided to go east to figure things out for himself. And we was talking like every day, FaceTime, text, and we was like, bro, let's do something. Like, people in a pandemic, people need hope, people are losing faith, people are losing their jobs, people are going insane mentally and emotionally. What can we do? So we went to work, and it kind of works like he's the detail-oriented structure guy. I'm the big picture, like the ideas. I kind of know what people need, and he helped me put my information and insight into this book. He added as well, like, his information. So we came together collectively, and we created a book, and it's phenomenal. It's a 4-week process, masterclass if you have it, if you have it. And it's 28 days of reclaiming your power. Every day you have an exercise to do, a tool to do to help you with yourself. Because here's the thing. We know what's going on in the world. A lot of people have jobs, government jobs, 9-to-5s, that they have employers who take care of them, who benefit them, that they benefit. And what happens is we subconsciously give our power away to the government, to the system, to the foundation, right? So when that system and that foundation fail you, all you can do because of the programming and the conditioning is point the finger. Why? Instead of, and so Chris and I was like, you know what? We're not going to do that. Not saying everyone is playing victim, but it looks like you're the victim when someone can just take your job from you. You're without a job. Right. Okay, figure it out. Right? Mm-hmm. So you automatically in this energy as the victim's like, no, you're the victor. You're going to take your power back. You're going to choose what you feel, what you think, and you're going to take action on making something happen for the greater good of your life. You're not going to let this pandemic, you're not going to let these obstacles or this adversity to hinder you and keep you from getting where you want to go. So I'm going to give you some tools. I'm going to give you some information to change the situation so you can understand who you are Not who you think you are based on what you have, but who you are at the core when you do have adversity, when you're not happy, when you're not your best self. Who are you? Why do you feel those ways? Why do you think what you think? Where does it come from? So me, Chris, we wanted to create something to help people. Like we have anything in there from taking cold showers, brushing your teeth with your least dominant hand to, trigger your creativity, making your bed when you first get up in the morning, drinking a glass of water, self-talk, motivational selfie on video for 2 minutes, dancing to your favorite song in the mirror. Think about how do you get ready for the gym or to a date? Like, what is your process? Because we all have a process to get ready and going to work, but we don't know that process because we're just in it. Mm-hmm. But what if I took you your brain back and you thought about like, wow, why did I pick this shirt today? Why did I put on these shorts? And why did I choose those sneakers? Where's those thoughts? Where's that coming from? What did I think about? Did I think I was going to see someone I like? That it was the gym or, thinking about the thinking. So it's incredible. I'm happy to have a book out in these times because with this book, you can't get away. You can't get around your problems. This book is going to center you. I mean, we have questions. This is a mock copy. This is not the actual book, but,
Yeah.
And we got stuff like fixed mindset, growth mindset, high energy words, low energy words. What words? So let's say day 4, phase 1, mindset. I'll just read the first few questions. My daily affirmation today is whatever your affirmation is. What do I love about myself? What am I grateful for today? Where can I improve today? What challenges am I facing? Those questions are just consistent each day, but you get to choose the answers. Right. I'm not giving you answers to your life. You're choosing. You're getting to find out where are these thoughts coming from? Who's creating this reality? Because it's not the events in our life. It's the meaning we give those events. And I think this book is going to help you understand who you are at the root level. And you're going to have opportunity to change yourself for yourself for the life you want. So
yeah, that's really cool, man. Like I think it's funny because like that's legit. I've been reading a lot more too because I'm changing up habits in my life. Like I'm figuring out we might need to figure out our new normal. It's like not going to be maybe going back to. So how do we, do those things? So reading a little bit more, figuring out that thoughts are actually like they mean something, like, and if you focus on it, you can really like bring things to life. Just like by executing plans and just starting by like, saying things out loud. So
writing things down.
Yeah, man. All those things are completely, something we support over here. Veronica, I didn't know if you had some questions for Eric.
Yeah, I guess like I wanted to know, so have you had like any experience with therapy or anything like that? Because I know especially like in the Black community, like mental health is super stigmatized. So I was just wondering like how you were maybe coming at this as someone with the platform that you have, knowing about how people tend to look at that kind of thing.
And this is the thing, I want people to really who's going to listen to this, who's listening to this, understand about life and perception, right? We think because someone grows up rich, who has it all, who has everything at their beck and call and everything's great, that they're healthy mentally, emotionally, and vibrationally, right? That's not necessarily true for a lot of people because they might be lacking something else you just don't see, right? So growing up in Baltimore, that's a tough environment. That's a tough neighborhood. A lot of drugs, violence, and just a lot of negativity. So being raised by a single mom, I didn't really get the love I wanted from her, but she did the best she could. She created me and made me who I am today. She made me become a man before a boy. She challenged me. I was responsible. And then you have my dad. I've never seen my mom and dad together. Love them both dearly to this day. I don't regret anything in my childhood. And my dad was the provider, but not the guider. He bought me the sneakers, bought me the video games. He bought me the clothes. So growing up, I already had resistance. I already was in sort of a pandemic, where mentally, emotionally, where it wasn't hard. That was my norm. So I knew how to cope with drama, negativity, resistance. So fast forward to LA, I've been in Los Angeles 10 years.
Oh.
Foreshadow, right? But prior to The Bachelorette, 2017, I was in LA. I was struggling. That had an impact on my mental health. emotional health. Thank God for fitness because I worked out. I didn't feel confident all the time. I just doubted myself in many ways. So coming to LA at 22, curious about life, thought I had it all, graduated with honors from Hampton University in Virginia. And LA didn't care. Like, who cares? So what? Prove it. Prove yourself. So I had to go through, like, it was a pandemic in 2010, up until 2017 when I got my first big break, right? So I was already in the self-help industry, working on myself, reading books, studying people like Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor, Mary Morrissey, and just trying to figure out what is this life about? Who am I? Studying astrology, numerology, just researching information to understand this guy I was looking in the mirror at every day myself. So prior to the show, every 2 years, I got a hold of a therapist. She's not a therapist. She's more of like a healer. She cleans out your chakras. She kind of can tap into like your energy, understand what you're lacking. Maybe you have some attachments on you. You have feminine energy around you that's stopping you from where you want to go, whatever, right? She can clean it out. She helped me pick my first publicist post-show. I remember when I came back from Bachelor in Paradise, I was in a dark place.
Yeah.
She helped me. And that's the thing about TV. People look at us and think like, oh, you guys, you killing me. Life is great. It's like, no, we go through a dark phase that you do not see. But those shows are hard. Those are challenging. And I'm a tough cookie. I come from the tough streets of Baltimore, but the thing will shake anybody up.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
real.
So you have to be mentally prepared for this show. You know, fame, attention. I always say, be careful what you wish for. You'll get it. It won't be what you want. So thank God for her, but more importantly, I always was a believer in God, and I always prayed. Like, my spiritual self is just like, that's why I give all my credit to is God and my spiritual parents. Because all this material stuff, this fame, who cares? Who are you? That's what this book is saying. Forget your material attachments. Forget who you date, who you know, what car you have, how much money you have in your account. Who are you? Let's talk. Let's get to the gritty of who are you at the core, because that's what life is about. Doesn't matter how much following someone has or what someone didn't do. It's about who they are on the inside. I was on a call yesterday with some big-time CEOs of companies because they want perspective from people of color. I said, instead of paying an influencer that got millions of followers and have crazy engagement, won't you go and do your research on an individual whose passion they're talking about and maybe help them grow their following, because y'all have the dollars to do that.
Amen.
Make them your ambassador of the year. Put them on a billboard. Put them in all your commercials. Like, come on. So it's just like the paradigm is shifting. Things are changing. People are waking up, and it's time for people to reclaim their power. And this is why transformation, the book, change your mindset, change your energy, change your life is important. And you got to seek help. Mental health is important. Everybody needs a therapist. Honestly, this is therapy. Don't take your podcast for granted.
No.
You're giving people a chance to tell their story, to speak their voice and their truth. When you go to therapy, what do? You're speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Don't I know it?
Therapy, right? You're letting out what's in you. And then we did a poll on a few young ladies, and they said, this is the thing to think about as well, that I think 2 of them probably had therapy, and it was like they bullshit their therapist. Like, they probably give them 60 to 70% of the truth, but not all of it. But they will rather do a workbook because they don't have to talk to anyone.
Right.
They don't want everybody to know.
Yeah.
All their business. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
it's a
don't
scary
know this
thing.
person.
Yeah. If
So,
you're if you're willing to do the work, then you have the willingness to succeed. Right.
Amen.
There we go.
How'd you come up with that? Like to have that be like a statement, that you're running with.
So like I said, prior to TV, I was always motivated. I was always positive. Before I went on the show, I had 3,500 followers and I had 3,600 posts. So that kind of lets you know, like, I was posting every damn day, right?
Yeah.
One post for every follower.
Motivation Monday, Wisdom Wednesday was Positive Friday. Tuesdays and Thursdays was quotes. Those Monday, Wednesday, Friday was motivational videos.
Consistency.
So that's all I was doing. I was consistent.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So it got to a point where, like, late last year, my friends was like, stop sharing everybody else's quotes and create your own quotes. I was like, oh. Ooh,
I know it's always hard to get over that like first step of feeling like a little corny, like everyone else is doing it and all that. But like after a while, it's like, all right, well that dude just does this. Like you just know.
they be pointing my quotes.
Yeah.
Off of my live videos. On my,
If it's
my
real, it's
speaking
real.
So I say, you know what? I started a quote page. Shouts out to Eric Bigger Quotes. Probably got like 117 followers, but the content on there is amazing. So coming from my soul,
Right.
I swear I get so many downloads when I'm in the shower. And now that quote came to me because I look at my life. It wasn't about who I know or what I got. It's about what I was willing to do. I had 3 jobs at one time. I was doing Uber, I was personal training, and I was working at the nightclub. On top of that, I was selling war machines. I didn't have too much pride to go and do Uber. So, oh, you ain't doing that. I'm not doing that. Like, guess what? Your boy was making $700 to $1,000 a week doing Uber. Your boy was burnt out, but I was making some income, you know, and then I was training. But I still felt unhappy because that's not something I want to do.
Yeah.
Thank God the show came at the perfect timing. I got the call when I was actually in the car waiting for an Uber ride, waiting for someone to click in so I can go pick them up.
Did you like flex on the guy that was like getting in the back? You're like, yo, you won't believe this, but I just got on the Bachelorette. He's like, whatever, dude, get me there quick.
Well, the thing is like I was so stressed out. It was like 8 o'clock at night. I was on Wilshire Boulevard and Miracle Mile. I remember like yesterday. It's like a 310 number coming around. I'm like, what the hell is this? Oh, hi. This is Jasmine. Shout out to Jazzy Norman, I think that's her last name. She casted me. Will help with the casting. And it wasn't until like next January, the next year, because it was December of 2016, that I had an actual interview. But the call was like, it changed my whole night. I was just like, yeah, because, you know, I think we interviewed probably like in September or something. So I just thought like, I didn't get it. Like it was like a one-on-one, an intimate, but not the big one. And then I got the call in December. I was like, it shifted my whole paradigm and my perspective. Like, okay. The show is still possible. Yeah. So it was some momentum, but I had a down moment. I was like, I'm tired of this. I don't want to keep doing Uber. So but I was willing to do the work. That's the key. And because that's the key to all things. You're willing to do the work. You have the willingness to succeed. The universe will give you the things you need. You guys had this podcast for how long? I don't know, but you're willing to do the work. Yeah. It's not about what you're not getting. It's about what you're giving. The more we give, the better we live.
Right. This is I love to talk about the podcast with like our guests because essentially the funny part is the only like Bachelor person I've ever met was Rachel Lindsay, the season you came from. But and that was actually the beginning of like that was like over 2 years ago where she was like I was like, yo, I want to be the first brown Bachelor, and she was like I work in television, she came to the company and she was like, you would be a great like Bachelor, and she was like, you're gonna be the future Bachelor, and I was like, dude, that's a dope ass name for a podcast. Let's, you know, me and Veronica are here, like, you know, really big fans of the show, and we're like, let's talk about it. But we've done it for like 2 years, and the idea behind it started off as a recap of the show, but then we're like, let's just talk about life. And then, like, you know, we're like, maybe eventually down the line, we'll get like some guests from the show, like to actually come on here. And it's like, if we didn't keep doing it, even when like we had like 20 listeners, like back then or whatever like that, we wouldn't be talking to Eric Bigger right now on our show, like someone we were watching. And now it's like, you know, on our show, like, you know, it's a reality. Yeah.
What we speak, we read.
Yeah.
And whatever we believe is real. You believe it, it's yours.
That's for sure, man. Well, when is the book available? Like, where is it going to be available? When does it come out?
Well, it's out. It's out.
Okay.
The transformation book is out. You go to Amazon. You can type in transformation. You can put either my name or Chris Randone. It'll come up. You can order it. We also have digital copies available as well. I
saw that. It's also you guys are donating portions of the proceeds to the NAACP and also to help those affected by COVID-19. So that's amazing.
Awesome.
You know, I really, you know, I want to check out this book. I'm going to go look into it because this is the type of stuff I'm into right now. So, yeah, man.
Just send me your address. I'll send you guys some books.
Hell yeah.
Cool. For sure.
I would love to check it out. Well, let's talk. Well, before that, I was thinking about like some Bachelor stuff. Like you guys should, I've been thinking about like a crossover of The Bachelorette or The Bachelor with Shark Tank. You know, they're both on ABC. You guys coming out with this company and figuring out things in COVID. I think it'd be a good show. And, you know, there could be another version of the franchise that you could be on. You know, you could say you've done them all. But I did want to ask, you know, do you find yourself like still like figuring out ways or caring about being relevant with Bachelor Nation? Like, I mean, obviously there's benefits of, being associated with show, and a person like you, like, it's been almost 2 years since the last, season you were on, which was Bachelor in Paradise. And, people still talk about you, like, you being the Bachelor the season after Rachel. I know they ended up picking Ari, but you were one of the contenders. I remember they talked about Mike. Now they got Matt James as the actual first black Bachelor. Like, what are your thoughts on all that, and how are you still, like, inside the franchise, or do you care?
Well, I mean, shouts out to ABC. And the production, and listen, one thing I learned about ABC that I love, and I've learned a lot, is besides the show, they got things in order. Mm-hmm. When they book you for something, you know what to wear, you know what time to show up, you know what you need, and you get paid within a few weeks. Like,
the check clears.
ABC got that thing together over there. You know what I'm saying? That perspective over there is in place.
Yeah.
But I just think, with Matt James being the first black Bachelor, I think it's the right move in a new direction. I think, I said this on a previous podcast, that I want people to know, and this is my perspective and my opinion, ABC, the Bachelor and the Bachelorette franchise, they don't owe, people of color, Black people, that they should have a Bachelor or Bachelorette, right? The reason I say that because is that industry, followers or audience is not predominantly Black. Now, if they were banking off of Black audience and Black people, then yes, you're obligated to have.
I think that's a good point. That's a good point.
So, and I also, because I know some people.
But you could also counter that being like, if your audience isn't Black because you don't have the Black lead, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because it's like, at the end of the day, we got to realize it's business, right? So if you have a business and your podcast is generated off of having Bachelor folks, and that's what you get your most engagement, you're not going to go get a soccer star or a baseball star because somebody wants it. You're going to stay to your paradigm because it works.
Yep.
But I do believe if you have Black castmates on the show,
Amen.
You have Black producers, Black hairstylists, Black fashion. Like, so when I was on my season, no knock to, a white barber or a barber who's not Black, but Black guy cutting the Black guy's hair. And it wasn't wrong. It wasn't like it was a super bad cut. He just didn't know how to cut
do
my
it.
hair.
That's a real thing, man.
I honestly believe if I didn't have Eddie Young, shouts out to Eddie Young. He was my producer, and he's a Black producer. He played D1 football at Cal and Berkeley. Super intelligent, witty guy. But that guy was challenging me and checking me. And I don't believe that the other producers could have got to me that way. They probably would have influenced me in different ways, but he really checked me like he was my brother. Like, come on, bro. Like, stop. You're running from love. What are you doing?
Oh, wow.
Like, we had that relationship. Like, it was like, we made it far. It was his first year on the show. I made it the furthest on that season. So
you were what? You went home fourth, I think? Was it fourth?
I went top 3. I went to final location.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, he went hometowns and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I remember. Because you had never. Your thing was you'd never been in love.
Right. Yep.
Has that changed?
Yeah. I mean, the show. I done dated a few times post show. Those things didn't work out. I think what happens is when you get in that platform and you get that perspective, you start understanding what life really is and not what you think it is based on your prior perspective. Because once I got in that show and I started realizing how America is shaped and how they view people, I'm like, wow, this is really a thing. It just opened my eyes to so many different things, opportunities, people, and I just think diversity matters, and then I always say, like, even women, I feel like women should be celebrated as much as other people are in these times.
Well,
like,
this is a good point, because I wanted to ask about, they just had like the greatest of all time all these seasons on there. And I know it was, they say it's like the lowest season, that's
Ratings-wise,
lowest
yeah.
rated season or viewed season. But I mean, it was groundbreaking. That has to be like one of the greatest seasons
Rachel's
ever,
season.
having like, a black bachelorette. But they didn't have that as one of the, for greatest of all time. Like, do you have any feelings on that or thoughts?
Hey, like, I'm a businessman, so when I look at numbers, I try to take, because here's the thing. Something happened on my first season of The Bachelorette on the show, and I was taking things personally, like as we all do, because it's your image, it's who you are.
Yeah.
Somewhat, not all of it. But I had to realize, like, you signed up for this.
Yeah.
It's TV. This is a show at the end of the day. So you either going to pick and choose what you want to do. You're going to take it personal, or you're going to look at it from a business perspective. Because the show has helped my life in many ways. But I look at it from a business perspective that, it's business. That doesn't make it right, but I just think it's business. And I was on the same call yesterday. I don't want ABC and other networks who don't have a predominantly black audience or understand that word to try to force something because everyone else is telling them to, because then you're really going to be ingenuine because you don't really mean it. So I told some of the, CEOs of this company, like, look, check us out. Take your time. Do your research before you just put out a message or say something, because you'll be off because you think you're doing something right because you can. No, take your time, vet the process out, and put out the right statement at the right time instead of when everybody else wants you to do it. So maybe they felt pressure and they feel like, you know what, let's just not do it because we don't feel like we should. And I don't want no one to do something.
I feel like it looks bad though. Like, like I didn't expect like Black Lives Matter to happen like in the middle of greatest of all time. So it just kind of looks bad. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody was telling me it's like some contract disputes or issues.
Oh,
that they had.
I think I did
know.
hear that. I did hear there's something about the licensing of it. That could be it. So, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt on that. But
but it's good for people to hold them accountable, because here's the thing. This we all got to understand. Everybody's living life from their perspective.
Yeah.
So in their mind, in their world, it's true to them. They're fighting for something they believe in. You can't say what they're believing is wrong or they shouldn't. Like, I'm looking at life from a different perspective than the young boy in Baltimore right now. Mm-hmm. We're in two different worlds because of our experiences. So we got to understand, as people, we got to be forgiving. We got to have unconditional love, but we also got to be cautious and aware of what we say and who we say it to, but understand that everybody's different. Everyone's not going to agree. And I'm all about peace and love, and things need to change. Diversity matters. Shout out to Matt James. He's going to kill it. And I think, and then the real question is, do people of color and black people really want to be on that franchise? Like, do they? Like, is that a thing? I think it's important because I have nephews. It's good to see a black man in a suit rather than just on a football field or basketball court or rapping. Like, we're more than just entertainers. We're more than just athletes. We're educators. We're
and deserving of love. Yeah.
Yeah, deserving of love. Like, vulnerability. Like, we need to change that. Like, we need to change the narrative and stop making the black man seem that he's only this athlete or this musician or this actor. That's it. Or other than that, he's a thug or he's a gangster.
Yeah.
Like, we gotta change that. And I think this is a start in a different way because a lot of people watch that show.
For sure. Have you seen the Bachelor Diversity campaign going around? We've had them as guests on our show. I was just wondering because they usually link up with Bachelor alum and we'll have great like Instagram live conversations. I would love to like get you guys connected. I feel like you guys would have a good conversation.
Yeah, they did. Honestly, they reached out a few times. I'm just not interested in it. Because here's the thing. I told this to my followers on the live. You can go watch it. I said, everybody's not fighting the same fight. And that's
I get
the thing.
that.
I think it's a stereotype too. Like, every black person doesn't feel the same way and every black person doesn't experience the same thing. So you got to stop putting us in categories like, oh, you're black. So it's like, no, you got some black people who've dealt with colorism.
Yeah.
Right? Or you're not black enough because you didn't grow up in a city sector or speak proper. There was a guy on my show, I won't say his name, but he said he was intimidated by black women, and he was a black man because how he spoke, because he grew up around predominantly white people. But we don't talk that. because that's like, oh yeah, no, but that's the thing. So I think whatever they're doing over there is great and phenomenal. But if I don't feel something, I don't do it, and I don't do things because I think I should. I got to be called and moved, and because it makes sense for my life.
Well, how do you feel about them like doing, you know, their campaign, and then, you know, I like, you probably know the franchise a lot better than we do, of course, but you know, they preemptively picked Matt James like a week or two after this campaign. I know they probably had Matt James in mind to go through, you know, the ringer of The Bachelorette and then maybe, you know, make it to be The Bachelor eventually. But, you know, do you feel like those type of things actually do have an effect on like the choices like ABC is making, or these are all like moves that they already had planned?
So, are you saying from Bachelor Diversity or the ABC? I'm confused.
Well, the Bachelor Diversity campaign came out, and I remember like within like a week or two, like that they announced Matt James as being the first Black Bachelor.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I feel like it was the press. It was everybody who kind of made that happen. They were part of it. I just think the timing was right. I believe the Bachelor was going to be Tyler. Right, I really believe for all this it was Tyler.
Oh, okay.
I mean, come on, think about it. Listen,
yeah, he hasn't had like an actual relationship. Like, you know, he's been.
Look at the numbers, right?
Yeah.
Wow, what is Tyler? He's hot. He's
yeah.
Right.
Popping. Like everybody wants this guy. Come on, businessman. Okay, cool. So you know what? Damn, all this stuff is going on. Well,
look at his best friend.
Yeah, we can get Tyler on the show still.
Look, he's attached to him, so we know Tyler got 2 million followers. We know we're gonna have him on the show at some point. You know, his friend is The Bachelor. Yeah. He can use some of his audience. Come on, it's leverage.
Damn, man.
You know, I didn't
even think about like people's followings now are like a big part of like these decisions. It's so crazy. Like the platform it's made like as an influencer, like the Bachelor franchise, like it's crazy.
It's a numbers game, and I just think, listen, I'm happy that ABC did that. I'm happy for Matt. But just because we want something doesn't mean we should always have it, because sometimes it might not be time for us to have it. I believe in timing, divine timing.
Same.
Right?
I love time.
Because, I believe too. Also, when we get on these shows, and granted, everyone wants love and fall in love, and want to be in a relationship or get married. Everyone thinks post-show we should be in a relationship, or why you're this or why you're that. It's like you didn't even ask me if I wasn't in a relationship. You're just projecting that I'm not because I don't show you that. And it's like, come on, people. Like, thank you for you speak, but I get it. They don't know better because they're going off what they see. I had a friend the other day wanted to introduce me to someone, and I'm like, he didn't even ask me if I was dating anyone. He's just like, oh, I think I got something good for you. Like, I didn't even know if I'm dating or not. Like, damn. They're just going to take advantage of I appreciate it, but it's like people don't even think. They just do because they feel like, well, you should be in a, like, just because someone's in a relationship, they don't got to show you that or tell you.
Yeah.
My life is already public.
Yeah.
You know?
Enough, right.
So I would at least try to keep my relationship private if I have one, unless she's in the public eye.
It sounds like the right move.
You know.
Well, dude, I really
don't tell nobody.
I really do appreciate like, you know, your time today with us and everything. I hope we were able to kind of touch on a bunch of things, you know, that you're working on because, you know, like we said, we're a big fan. We want to support, you know, what you got going on. Hopefully have you back on the show, you know, and like I said, you know, good luck with everything, and I hope you had a good time with us today.
Yeah, do you want to plug any?
Yeah, where can people find you and stuff? Yeah.
Oh man, Instagram, Eric Bigger, you know, first and last name. That's Eric with the C. Twitter, follow me on Twitter, Eric_Bigger. And go get the book, Transformation, Change Your Mindset, Change Your Energy, Change Your Life. It's on Amazon.
We'll put a link to it in the show notes as well too.
Yeah.
And just people, be your best self. Stop judging. Don't judge, learn. Don't assume, no. Get information to help your situation. Lead with love and compassion. Be forgiven. And remember, no one in the world is perfect, and you're not perfect either. So don't hold people accountable for something they can't be accountable for, even if you think they should. But seek to understand and to be understood. This life is yours. Yeah. Make it a great.
Amazing, man.
Best.
Yo.
Hey.
Give it up for Eric Bigger, guys. Thank you so much for being on the show, man. We'll talk to you soon, and good luck with everything, all right?
Much love. It's a miracle season.
Thanks.
Peace and love.
Thanks,
Awesome,
Eric.
man.
That was awesome. Eric really was something.
Killed it. Well, why don't we get into our slapper of the week? This week, this is not like a brand new song, but I believe we might have had Jack Harlow as a slapper of the week.
I think we might have.
I'm trying to think of what song it was, but it was the one with Jeezy. But
oh yeah.
regardless, I've heard this song. I've been hearing it around. Like you said, it was like a TikTok.
I've been hearing it's a very well used sound on TikTok.
So yeah, I've been hearing it around on videos and stuff, and finally I was like, all right, what's this song? And it's called "What's Poppin" by Jack Harlow. So our slapper of the week, without further ado, why don't we just get right into it? Let's go.
What's poppin'?
Who you are? Slapper of the week. This song slaps.
By the Foot Challenge.
Yeah, you finished it quick.
It's hard to talk after that. Shouldn't have done that. Yeah, that was our slapper of the week. That really slapped, huh, V?
It really did. Honestly, I like that song. I think it's fun.
That's why we picked it. Do you have any shout outs this week?
Yeah. I wanted to shout out first we're both shouting out C Money, OG compadre, for her birthday.
C Money, happy birthday.
She's the realest. And then I wanted to shout out my friend Kathleen. She's getting married this weekend. I am unfortunately not going. Just, it's hard with COVID. So congrats to her. And then I wanted to also shout out my friend Kim, whose wedding is at the end of the month. And we got to have like her virtual bridal shower and everything like that. So also, congrats to her in advance.
Dope. Well, I wanted to just give a quick happy birthday shout out to my boy Robbie. Our boy Robbie.
Our boy Robbie. Yeah.
And then I want to give a huge shout out to my homie Ro. I love you, bro. Happy birthday, guys. What a show. What a show we've had today. 1, 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? I knew it was going to be a good one. Yeah, it's as easy as that, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Future Bachelor. Make sure to follow us on, we got the podcast playlist on Spotify. Just search for us there, or any episodes. Tell a friend. Follow us on Instagram. Whatever we do, just follow us,
Yeah, tag a bitch. Do what you need.
We're going to keep rising to the top, and I hope you guys are coming along for the ride. So,
yeah, toot.
Yeah, this has been Future Bachelor. My name is Sai.
I'm Veronica.
And we'll see you next week. We love you. Deuces!
Bye!
Future Bachelor Podcast.